Hey everybody, you're listening to the two5 cast. I'm your host Mike. I'm here with Camden.
What up, yo?
Episode 44,
Oh, Jesus. I'm adjusting the mic,
the
sorry.
the spooky Halloween edition.
Spooky, scary skeleton.
No, because I hear enough of that song, dude. You're good. You don't need to sing it to me.
I hear none of it.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
when you in your dreams you do.
Where was I? I was in just a store. I was in some store. It wasn't even a Halloween-themed store, and I heard the fucking, was that Clap for the Wolfman?
Yeah.
Clap for... It was fucking... It was
Everyone
lit.
was getting
I was so happy.
super turned to it.
I kind of miss the Halloween store that Mike and I used to work at.
Me too, actually.
I went there today, and I didn't miss it when
Yeah.
I was in there.
Well,
but
that's because it was a bad time.
it was a bad time.
I was literally telling someone about how I went from working at a Walgreens, which is still a retail place,
Yeah.
to the Halloween store, and my first snap judgment was like, oh fuck, coming from Walgreens, people are spending $25. They're gonna literally yell at me like, why is this so expensive? And then you work at this Halloween store, and people are spending upwards of like $300. And I'm just like,
No big deal.
I'm just waiting for them to be like, what the fuck, $300? And they'll just be like, okay, I'm gonna, can I put it on my credit card or like whatever? Like they
Yeah.
don't care. It's such a different atmosphere. People don't care how much money they're spending when it comes to Halloween.
Do you think it's just Halloween, or do you think that's just like holidays in general?
I mean, it's hard to say because it's not. I mean, Christmas is the other big one, the one you would buy decorations and whatever for. But we don't.
I mean, well, what about Thanksgiving?
There's not a Christmas store that opens up. You know what I mean?
You're right.
That people.
Oh, you mean Hobby Lobby?
They're always opened up though. They're all
Except on fucking Sundays, because
God needs them to fucking ease up on the craft and rest.
Jesus.
Craft macaroni. No, like the way I think of it, it's a one-stop shop. You go in, you get your decorations, your costumes, your accessories, your makeup. You get everything from typically one Halloween store. Whereas for Christmas, you're going to a Hallmark store and getting ornaments. You're going to a tree farm and getting a tree.
Tree farm.
That's what they're called. They're tree farms.
I know. It's just
Tree store.
get the tree store. Like,
get-
I want that one, and you pick it
Can I
up.
speak to that manager? It's like, yeah, my manager's Mother Nature. What the fuck do you want?
This one's not big enough.
Yeah, it's not
well,
big enough.
You're
It's
looking
too
at 'em.
tall. It's like, well, fucking chop it off. Like, what do you want? Like, start from the bottom, go up. Don't go up and down.
Oh,
It's a fucking weird, awkward trapezoid tree.
listen, it's a thing.
But like, the thing about it is, you go to Target on Black Friday to get like toys and stuff. You go to Walmart to get the food, or there's different places for the different parts of a Christmas like party essentially.
Yeah.
But for Halloween, like I said, you typically go to like one or two places and you get everything. I got my animatronics, I got my fog juice, I got my costume, like I got it all in one trip. So I think that's why it's such an inflated number. I think people are spending more for Christmas parties and celebrations, or just holiday, general, like,
Or like, yeah, I could see it's like maybe perceived
yeah.
as more. You're right, because you're in one store, and everyone's getting all of the things that they need for this.
I gotta
season.
get 3 costumes, one for me, one for my child, one for my wife. Like it's that kind of
Yeah.
thing where some costumes, getting 3 of them, upwards of $150.
By them, yeah. And I do remember seeing people when we worked there. They would come in like once every weekend,
Mhm.
like, and you slowly just accrue stuff,
Yep.
over time. And excuse me, burpee. So it's kind of like that at my new job.
I also think it has a lot to do with that mentality. Is like, oh, it's for the kids. I'm building memories for the kids. I don't care that I'm spending $200 because little Jessica is gonna remember this forever.
Do you
She
think?
won't.
Do you really think that people? Do you think people genuinely feel that Halloween is for kids, or do they rationalize it being for the kids?
I feel like
I feel like people just rationalize like
It's not for kids. It's not a holiday for kids. It's just a holiday, but like it's a memory thing. You know, like I'm building memories with my kids, so I'm spending this money because it's Halloween for my kids. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you and I are gonna experience fucking Halloween 2K17. Like what up?
You're right.
It's just as much for us. I'm gonna dress up.
Are you really?
Yeah, we'll go with my Team Rocket grunt costume again.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta find the hat for it though.
It's around somewhere.
Sure. Well, whatever.
It could be also just sucked into the abyss that's your room.
Don't call me out like that.
I'm not saying like I mean this is like a pretty big space though.
Yeah.
That's more of what I mean. Like this is a huge space.
I've carved out myself a little nice nook for me to dwell in.
Yeah, it's warm, but
No, it's very cold down here,
you're right.
Mr. Hoodie.
I am. I'm bundled up in a jacket. I have shorts on though.
I can verify this.
Gym
It
shorts.
checks out.
Yep.
You stole Jim's shorts?
I did. Fuck you, Jim.
JIM bitch.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna be JYM. I was like, who spells their name like that? Do you think there is a Jim out there that spells?
Oh,
his name
absolutely.
Like that? I'm gonna be fucking.
They're in kindergarten
different.
right now, and they live in fucking SoCo, South California.
You know what? You're not incorrect. I'm certain. I'm certain.
And they go to class with Coachella.
Coachella. She's got fucking braided hair and a crop top all the time.
Yeah.
That's all she wears.
It says princess on it, though. And it's like a little crown over the eye.
And then she has to have like a fucking feather behind her ear. Ugh.
That's a bit extra. I was like,
Oh, I've seen that.
Well, all right. In your mind's eye, what color is that shirt?
Which one?
The shirt of Coachella.
Coachella?
Yeah.
It's like a cream color.
Oh, see, I'm thinking like a dark hot pink. Like not hot pink, but like it's a little on the dark scale.
No, I'm thinking.
And then black, either black or gold lettering.
This is how I picture Coachella.
Uh huh. If it's block print, it is black. If it's cursive, it's gold.
This is how I picture
Okay.
Coachella. I picture her with like, I don't know, brunette hair that's been sun bleached.
Okay.
She has one braid that has a feather in it, and she has a crop top that's like a cream color. That says,
This is a kindergartner, right?
"Yep,
Okay.
it's That's how I mean.
Oh no, go on.
In kindergarten, she's gonna be dressed up by her mom.
Yeah.
So
Her nanny.
no, her. I'll say nanny. Sure.
Nanny.
I was like, no, mom. I was like, nanny.
No.
South
South.
And then she has like some really colorful leggings on. And
Yeah.
then because she lives in fucking SoCo, she has on some baby Tims.
Okay.
That's what I'm picturing. This is what
I guess it's
picture.
SoCal.
Oh yeah, SoCo.
See,
and
we're fucking
Midwesty boys.
yeah, Midwesties.
We don't know any of that shit.
Cam's my Midwesty bestie.
So who's your fucking East Coast bestie?
I don't have
I'm
one.
just kidding. Thanks, man. That actually means a lot.
West Coast is probably James.
Oh yeah, he's not along the coast. He's in the west. You know what, man? That means a lot to me when you say that because
We're a
See-
we're a podcast built on friendship.
thanks.
And then on top of that so it's friendship, and then we build a podcast on top of that, and then we build a friendship on top of that.
It's a friendship
But
sandwich.
it's a pyramid actually. It's a friendship podcast friendship pyramid. The very top is our friendship, and at the very bottom, we're both the base and the top.
I have like the biggest smile on my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so the thing is when Mike and I work together, because I don't work at the Pokemart anymore. Who am I gonna talk to about you? You I only ever have good things to say.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean. So
You
now,
walk into your therapist room. You're like, guess what the fuck this asshole did today?
no,
You throw your bag at the wall. You're like, sit down.
buckle up.
Therapist name, because I don't know.
No, don't say his name.
All right, sit down. We got a lot to talk about.
I mean,
Get your shitty ass pen out.
he does write on sticky notes
Yeah.
consistently. Yeah, and I think
Does he just doodle?
no.
Is that a thing? Like, do most therapists just doodle while they're talking?
I don't know. I don't. I think everyone runs their thing differently. I mean, I want to be a counselor. I personally am not just gonna doodle.
Just gonna draw huge tits every time. Just like, whoa, Whoa.
And then like make sure the shading's right.
The nipples are a little wall-eyed.
And then one slightly smaller than the other one. Yep.
It's
Whatever.
true to scale.
Anyway,
Inverted nipples.
I mean, I know a couple people with inverted nipples.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I sure do. I knew somebody growing up. I don't know how we. Thanks for getting me on this topic.
Yep.
But I knew somebody whose like breast didn't develop any muscle tissue, so she had just like no boob. She had one that developed, and then the other one didn't develop.
You hear that, ladies? Your breasts are just full of muscle.
And fat.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Just
Mammary glands.
mammary glands. Yeah, what was I saying about the...
Who fucking knows?
I don't know. Saying some shit. That's all I ever say.
Oh, I forgot to start writing down stuff.
Oh, it's okay. Well, I remember what I was going to say. Is like, so now my new job, I talk about Mike often, and I just always say my best friend.
Oh,
My best
gay.
friend. Shut up. There's no homosexuality here. I don't say your name because I don't want to keep explaining.
You don't
people
want to
like,
out me?
No, I don't want to have to keep explaining to people who Mike is.
Yeah.
In case they don't care enough to remember, but they'll remember every time I say my best friend.
Yeah, they fucking better.
Like, oh, it was my best friend, and so like, I think it was like a picture you sent on like Snapchat or something I was gonna post in Snapchat, and I thought it was funny, and I thought all of y'all would appreciate it, but especially you. And I showed my manager, and she was like, "What the fuck?" I was like,
What was it? Which one was
I
it?
don't know.
Oh,
It was
okay.
something that I put in the other day. I think I've put something in every day. I think I put something in our Snapchat group at least once a day.
Yeah.
So
You've been accepted. There's a little bit of like tension between me and our Snapchat group because like anything I say gets immediately ignored. But then there's people in there who are straight up trying to suck each other's dick, and I'm just like, I fucking don't want to be any
Yeah.
part of this.
yeah, y'all know who you are. But
y'all
you know
y'all
what?
know.
Y'all know. Oh, I think I wanted to explain. Did I ever explain to you what I meant by when I got clocked earlier?
No.
Okay, yeah. Here's something I could talk about.
So just for to clarify everything, Cam just randomly said when someone tries to clock y'all, and then like me and Beck, who friend of the show, we're just like, what the fuck does clock mean? Because like we have different definitions, but it doesn't look like you got hit in the face or
It
you got
means
pulled over.
Flava Flav has ascended from the heavens.
Oh, okay.
And to personally bestow upon me his clock.
And then I was like, I guess he died because he never responded. And then yeah,
I got busy. Sorry.
yeah.
Um,
What does clocked mean?
So clocked means when someone just like outs you or calls you out. So
Literally 100 different ways to put that better.
I know. I don't know how
I
else
thought I
to
got like
explain
pulled over. Like, oh, this cop clocked me going in
No.
88.
it. Yeah,
I was trying to go back in time, you bitch.
If only. If only. No. So say if. Okay, my roommate. He's kind of feminine, but not really. So say if somebody, he was just standing in line at the supermarket. Let's just say, and someone saw like a ring on his finger, and then just assumed he was gay and was like, "Oh my god, when did you and your husband get married?" They're like, clocking him as gay, like they just read him
Okay.
for who he is. A lot happens. I mean, not really a lot in the trans community, or sorry, in the gay community, because you could look however and be queer. But a lot of people, like a lot of trans people, get clocked. But more often.
Does clocking have like a level of assumption associated to it?
What do you mean?
Like, because if someone put me on blast, I would say they knew something about me and they just told everyone. Whereas
they don't have to people don't necessarily have to just tell everybody. But yeah, so here
I'm trying to figure out in which ways I would
think-
use clock over something else. Like, oh, he just read me.
So
Because it wasn't true, right?
let me just explain this.
Okay, all right, I'm listening.
Maybe-
I'm taking notes too.
Hopefully this will help you understand. I was in my school. There's like a little coffee shop in one of the buildings. I stand there every morning and I talk to the lady.
Most coffee shops are in buildings. That checks out.
Fucking hate you so much. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm in that building, and I know I get coffee every Tuesday and Thursday morning, and it's been like that for the past 2 semesters. So I stand there, I talk to the manager, because she's been there.
Because you're like, can I talk to your manager?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
That's exactly how you sound like too. You're like,
Hello, your manager.
I got. Do you like my haircut? It's a bob, but like angular.
An angular bob, an asymmetrical bob.
Yeah, it tells you I mean business when I ask for your manager. I'm a professional
Yeah,
bitcher.
and I have. I
You
have
just wait
sunglasses
till you
on,
see
too.
your Yelp review.
Just you better
You
fucking
wish you
wait.
could get a 1 out of 5.
Oh my god, people like that they can die. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, so no, this other girl had come in, and she ordered coffee, and I'm just quiet because I'm not gonna interrupt our transaction. But the girl who came in was like, "Oh, I'm in your class. I only have one class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
She's in my abnormal psych class. So she goes, I'm in your abnormal psych class. I was like, oh, you are? Like, I didn't know. Sorry. So she's like, yeah, I'm kind of quiet. And I'm like, well, generally.
Because I'm trying to study. I'm not loud like you. She's like trying to call you out or something. Like,
No.
Yeah, I'm quiet.
Generally, in whenever I'm in any kind of classroom, I like to sit in the very back corner. I don't like anyone behind me. I like to be the last I don't want anyone looking at the back of my head.
Yeah.
I want to be able to see everybody because I can see the board and I can see what's happening in the room.
As John Mulaney once said, "Don't look at me. I'll die."
That's how I feel. But she
Don't look at me or I'll die is the quote.
Don't look at me or I'll die. Anyway, so she was, I don't know. She was talking about Halloween because this Halloween thing happened at her school, and she went on.
Because literally everybody's boring, and they talk about sports, weather, or events.
Yeah, well, she's fucking. I don't know.
Can you believe all those people in Las Vegas? Oh my god, bitch, that's none of our business.
I mean,
unless you want to get into about gun control.
Oh, get him!
Oh, bye. Where are you going?
I mean, I don't know. There's somebody that I have to interact with frequently who is very.
Listen, bitch, we're not fucking rubbernecking. People got dead over there.
People got dead. It's like the fucking got milk poster. Got dead.
Now you're making
Right.
these jokes are a little. I can't follow you.
It's okay. It's okay.
You went into the darkness.
It's okay. Back to this girl though. I don't know. I think whatever. Her name is fucking irrelevant. But she.
She go to class with Coachella. Fucking irrelevant. How's that spelled?
Coachella.
No, fucking irrelevant.
Fucking FUKYN.
Oh.
I know.
LYN. Fucklin.
Fucklin irrelevant. Fucklin irrelevant. One of my favorite vines is the guy. He's looking at the attendance classroom. He goes. And like the top name is Shithead. It's pushed together.
Shatheed.
He goes, shithead, and the girl goes, it's Shatheed. And like, I feel bad because I'm sure that happens often. But just like the fucking name. Why? Just oh. It's like with Camden. Like every time I ordered food to go, I'm like, Camden, it's with a C.
Cameron. Is there Cameron? Your drink's ready.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, they put Camden with a C, and I guess that's the way you spell it. I don't know. I've gotten Camden a bunch of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I never complain
People
though.
fucking jumping a rope.
Yeah.
The thing is, names are like something I never want to get wrong.
Yeah.
Because like they're very important to people, especially when they change them. Like we know someone that I mean we know a lot of Katies, but that's not her name, but that is her preferred name. So like, I used to joke about like, oh, is Miss, and then say her actual name, but I was like, I'm not gonna do that. It's a bad joke. It's not worth it. I'll say there's other things I could say that are funnier.
Yeah, I think it also depends on like the relationship with the person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think maybe if you're really close with somebody and you're just like joking, or if you're a parent and you're really pissed off at your children and you use the fucking full name.
Oh yeah.
Then you fucked up.
You already know the belt's out.
I don't have a belt to whip. There you go. Anyway, back to this fucking story about this girl who clocked me.
Is it a belt or is it a whip? Is your dad fucking Indiana Jones?
He wishes. My dad's computer screen. Like fucking 7 years ago, we went on vacation, and you know how you can like take pictures and they'll Photoshop them onto like movie posters?
Sure.
My dad got one of him in the Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark scene. That has been his fucking computer screen for like the past 6 years. It's just that picture of him. He loves it
Make that
so
his
much.
fucking tombstone.
Just that fucking picture.
Yep.
That's my dad loves that picture. But back to getting clocked. This girl went on some story about her fucking girlfriend or whatever, and who cares? As she was leaving, though,
Girlfriend or girlfriend?
like her sexual partner
Okay.
girlfriend.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, anyway, you don't know.
Cis women love to steal that term, so.
Yeah, I know. So I didn't know at first, but I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna look into it. You use it however you want. Who gives? I don't know you. I have no. Even though you're in the same class, I don't have any plans to interact with you. I don't give a shit. Moving on. But as she was
I'll
leaving,
listen because I'm into it. I just love listening to people's stories. Voyeur like that.
I just want her to leave.
Okay, just kidding. Go away.
But as she was leaving, she goes, "Bye, ladies."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh."
Oh, she's just the only one.
No, she goes, "Bye, ladies," and then she left. But the
Find
manager,
her.
the manager lady knows.
Let's go find her, dude.
No, I know where to find her.
Let's
We're
go.
in the same fucking class.
All right, everybody, you're coming on a ride. Just grab the microphones.
You know what? She could probably kick my ass to be.
I'm coming to help.
You could bite her. You could kill her. She's not that big.
I'm not gonna kill someone.
Not even for me.
Are you gonna get me out of jail? Like what's
Yep.
happening? Okay,
I'll do everything I can to get
I
you
will.
out of jail.
Here, I won't fight someone for you, but I will defend your life.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. If someone's like, I challenge you to a duel, and then you're like, what's the word when you're like, they're gonna be my champion. They will fight for me. They will be my proxy.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, the only word I could think of was Confederate, and that's definitely not it. It's a psychology term.
The South. Well,
So I didn't know this. I saw it on a slide, but say if I'm doing a study
uh-huh.
and I need
You're doing a study.
I'm doing a study, whatever.
You told me to say that I'm doing a study. Let's say I'm doing a study. I'm doing a study.
I love you so much. I was like really confused. Like, what the fuck is happening? Okay. So
Jokes.
so if you and Jackie were my participants, right? And Jackie was actually in on the whole thing.
Okay.
So-
She's the mole.
Yeah, she's the Confederate.
She's the
That's what it's called. She's the Confederate.
yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm looking up a really famous study that was done like this. So they had two people. One person was asking questions to one person on the other side, and if they got it wrong, they would administer a shock. The person asking the questions. So then they were like, ask the question. If they got it right, whatever. The person who was getting shocked, air quote, was a Confederate. He was actually in on the experiment. He wasn't genuinely getting shocked.
Yeah.
But they were trying to see how
People
well,
react to
how well do people listen to authority? Because the person on the other side who was getting shocked, the Confederate, was like, "Ow, stop!" It's like, "Stop! This hurts. I can't handle it anymore." But the experimenters who were observing the person administering the shocks, air quote, they were like, "No, just keep going." And then the person who was doing it, the actual participant, was like, "Well,
the fucking
how well are they gonna comply?"
yeah.
If the guy's like,
So they're a plant.
they're the Confederate.
Yeah.
It's fake. I mean, they're like I said, they're actually experimenting. How well do people listen to authority?
Right.
But the person who was getting shocked, air quote, is on it the whole time. He's just an actor. He was just saying things. But it's important when experiments to debrief after. Be like,
To let him know, like, hey, you weren't actually hurting him.
Yeah, and so then
Don't take this
so
to
then they met him.
your home life.
Yeah. Anyway, this fucking girl.
Question.
Sure.
It's different topic.
Tell me what you think about me.
Yeah. Did we do that earlier this episode, or was that before we started recording?
Yeah, that was you in this episode.
Okay.
Comfort.
This is a very not okay thing to ask, but is domestic abuse worse or better if they're both participating in it?
What do you mean?
Like if it's one-sided versus back and forth.
Versus, so say if you were abusing me versus if we were abusing each other.
Yes.
How?
Like just strictly verbally, no physical. Is it better if?
Is there children involved?
Why do you gotta bring the kids into this, dude? You leave them out. Coachella and Buckland.
Buckland.
Like, this is a very serious thing. But, like, because something happened at the Pokemart where, like, and then the other one went right back. And I was like, I have no fucking idea how to intervene in this situation.
I think you don't.
Yeah.
But
just let him fight it to the death, huh?
Yeah. I think it's worse if it's one-sided.
When there's it's actual victim.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both victims in the other circumstance, but
they're victimizing each other.
Yeah.
It's just a toxic like relationship.
What if it's consensual domestic abuse? They just go out in public and they just yell at each other. That's just what gets them off.
It's fake.
It's like a fake. It's a non-sexual exposition. Not exposition. What's it called?
Tangled. Sorry, I got tangled in the
it's
wires.
Not called Tangled. It's a Disney movie, dude. Fucking kids are listening to this.
I almost just want to say Let It Go, but that sure isn't the same movie.
Nope.
What'd you ask me?
The opposite of voyeurism, where you go out and you just like, look at my tits.
Exhibitionist.
Yeah, thank you.
Exhibitionism. I think you had it right.
Yeah.
That's
No. I said exposition, which is.
That's the beginning of a book.
I mean, yeah. It's the beginning of a lot of things. That's my biggest fucking thing when video games or books or movies just front load exposition on you. It's like,
I feel that.
Wow.
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 Wow. There's only two ways to say wow.
Okay.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
And R-W-R-O-W. Wow.
R-O-W.
W-R-O-W.
Wow.
Wow.
It's
the one girl that's fucking vaping in that vine.
Oh, he goes,
he just turns again and wow. Wow.
Yeah. I love those compilations.
I should take that video and then switch the sound.
Take like a video of Owen Wilson, just put the guy's audio in it, and vice versa. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But which movie?
No one steal that idea. Whatever, dude. I don't know.
Just pick a movie.
I'm not actually gonna do it. I don't need to think that far.
I guess I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Just let it be.
Just if
let someone more qualified handle the situation.
Yeah. Domestic abuse isn't good in any scenario, but
yeah,
I think it's worse.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to make light of it.
No, excuse me.
But
I think it's worse if it's one-sided.
Yeah. All right, tell me about this bitch.
Oh yeah, so we had class, whatever. After class, I'm leaving. She goes, "Hey, can I talk to you real quick?" I was like,
"Why, you gonna misgender me again?"
I was like,
"Cause I got this pencil will go in your throat real easy."
I was like, "Sure." She goes, "Hey, I just wanted to apologize for the cafe. I didn't mean to. I wasn't thinking." I was like, "No, it's okay."
No, you should let her finish, dude. Sorry, go on.
I should have.
Yeah. You listen, when someone's apologizing to you, you get every bit of it because people don't fucking apologize.
Well, she's like, "I'm sorry for everything, whatever." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." She goes, "I should have known better." She's like, she's like,
"Lady, stop talking."
She goes, "Cause I know a couple transgenders," and I was like, "Oh." I was like,
"You were so ahead."
Do I correct her because that's not the correct way to say that, or like what? But then she went into some story. She's like, "I have a friend whose brother's dating a transgender," and I was like, "Oh my fucking god!"
You want some advice, lady? Here's what you need to know.
But that's what I mean. She called me out for being trans. She clocked me.
Yeah.
For being trans. And I asked.
Oh right, we were talking about clocking.
Yeah.
I suck.
I asked her. I was like, "How did you know I was trans?" And I said,
"Oh, you're setting her up, dude."
I want to know.
Yeah, well, you're setting her up. She's gonna fucking pitfall Larry at this all.
Yeah, well, she was like, "Well, being part of like the community, the gay community or like the queer community," she was like, "I feel like I just know." And
that's not how anything works.
That's not how any of this works. Like the vine, that is not correct. That's how I feel. I mean, I was like, "Thank you for apologizing." I was like, "But, genuinely, you don't have to, But also, like, if you make a mistake,"
it's just like,
I told her, I was like, "Just let it go."
It's just like,
and I'm like, not to be rude or whatever. I'm not coming across as rude, but like, it sounds worse when you try to just explain it versus if you're just like, "Hey, I'm sorry."
It's that thing I keep bringing up where I hate when people say like, "Oh, he's a trans male," it's like, no, just call him a guy. Just call him. He's a male. He's a dude.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I
was
mean?
talking to somebody about that.
Like it's that fucking asterisk at the end of it where it's just like, God damn it. Also,
yeah, that happened with my boss's boss.
yeah.
I think because I don't know. I think so. In my workplace, there are 2 girls and 2 guys, and then there's me. More often, I work with the 2 girls just because we work well together. We
Yeah.
all work well together. Shit gets done when we all fucking work together. Whatever. And my boss's boss, aka the owner of the company, he came in and he brought us hot chocolate and he goes, "What up, ladies?" I'm like,
Hot chocolatey milk. Oh fuck.
I'm like, no. Like, what do I say? Because this is the guy that directly signs my paychecks. What do you think
Let
I
him
said?
know. I mean, I don't know. Hey, I'm a dude.
And that's like the thing is like,
As a dude, I'm not in your
I
position.
know.
So, also, we're major hypocrites because there's been definite times when people have come into the Pokemart and we're just like,
you're right.
but like, I feel we're only slightly better because we just end up using they them when we talk about they
Yeah.
them, and there is a look where you can kind of tell that like their alternative. It's like
I mean,
it's like
I don't know.
lesbian women wearing flannel. It's like they're being divergent from
Like, I
culture,
think she-
fashion norms
yeah, I
on
think
purpose because they are
I felt,
divergent of norms.
I felt like she thought I was like a
Quote.
butch lesbian.
Oh,
That's what I thought. That and like I think that's why she said ladies. Also, apparently I look really feminine still, and whatever. I don't give a shit. Like, it was interesting because the lady at the cafe knows that I'm trans. So after she did it and she left, she asked me. She was like, "What do you do in that kind of scenario?" And I said, "Honestly, let it go. She doesn't know me. She doesn't
you
need
should have
to
just
know
asked.
me."
Depends. Are there any witnesses or no?
God.
Just like left it at that.
You know, I don't
I'll
really
take
want
my
to say
coffee to
much to
go.
this lady anymore because she made this fucking. Did I already tell you
Uh-oh.
about the conspiracy theory that she made?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't. So I don't really have much I want to say to her.
It's
ever.
that Obama one, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we talked about that
Sure,
last episode.
That's fucking her.
Yep. Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I just let it go. It's like she doesn't know me. She doesn't need to know me.
Oh, I thought you said you weren't gonna make that let it go joke, dude.
But what if they had fallen down?
I'd be sad.
I could just see the like your eyes would just go dead instantly. I know the look.
Deader.
I know the look.
I threw a pencil at I have like a screen to like help block out outside noise and to absorb some of ours. Also, it kind of like sections off the room nicely.
Yes. Yes. Anyway,
But yeah, like I said, we're hypocrites. 'Cause
Yeah.
we totally like,
I've seen people and I'm like, that is a trans person.
yeah.
Like very distinctly.
And I have no business because I'm only bisexual.
Well, here's the thing: is like, am I just as bad for clocking other trans people? That's what that is. That's a perfect example. Anytime we're like, they're trans, we just clock them.
Mm-hmm. Check the tab.
Got Flavor Flav on their ass.
You're late, buddy.
Jeez. So, I mean, does it? It's almost like whenever okay, I'm gonna put this into a kind of a different
clocking
context.
is like a snap judgment, whereas putting something on blast is you have particular knowledge about something and you're telling everybody. You're alert. You're like, hey, everybody, Camden loves his dog.
This
I
is
just put you on
very
blast.
true.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's particularly a snap judgment, but it's like someone who makes an instant assumption, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh, but it's true. But you were saying, oh, I guess you
she
said in the
clocked me.
snap.
She clocked me as being
tried to
trans.
clock-
That's
okay,
what I meant. She
okay.
clocked me as being trans.
Okay.
She read that I was trans, and she was correct. I
I'm
am
learning
trans.
stuff, y'all.
Yep. It's kind of a. I think it's a. It isn't a term that I hear really outside.
It was
the pair.
popularized by Flavor Flav, right? That's what we keep saying.
Flavor Flav. Listen, Flavor Flav is a gross individual. Let me just say that right now.
Yeah, he went inside a Big Ben and came inside because he was so excited. He was like,
Jesus.
"Oh, imagine all the time I could tell in here."
And
Whoa.
then the Ben was like, "This is what
He's
I do."
just
in
a
my
hype
whole
man.
life."
Who cares about Flavor Flav?
Does he rap or whatever?
No,
Like,
he's a hype man. He comes out and he hypes up the fucking real people.
I always wanted to know, like, what
He's
does
just-
he do?
Like ostentatious. I feel like that's the word I'm looking for.
It's a good word.
Yeah, to describe him. He's just wild. He's out there with his huge ass clock. He's got like an aesthetic,
Yeah.
but like his talents aren't in rapping. I feel.
Does he rap?
Listen, dude. I'm not saying I'm a connoisseur of Flavor Flav material.
That's like the first time I ever heard. Fuck me.
Hood. The first time I ever heard.
Fuck. I know. I know.
First time I ever heard was the.
I wanna fucking die. The first time I ever heard T-Pain sing without autotune was very surprising. Have you ever heard him sing without autotune?
No, that's just his natural voice.
He does like
everyone says it's autotune.
Like
it's not.
He just has like that's just his. Yeah, he just like turns on his voice. It's like his fucking throat.
Yeah,
lights
he's
up.
super talented, dude.
There you go. But
he lights up.
He did. Yeah,
that's wild.
That's why he's got the fucking. What does he wear? Like a crown or something?
T-Pain, are you
No,
eating
the top
LEDs
hat.
again?
He hides it in his top hat.
Okay. I love the red LEDs. They're my favorite. They taste like cherry.
I like the blue LEDs because they're blue flavored.
Yeah, they're like minty blueberries.
But he always also had like the particular aesthetic, like the auto tune, the fucking like top hat, the braids, just like the weird, whatever. But
Sure.
it was like a couple of years ago. He did an acoustic set with just his guitar, and he did "Buy You a Drink," and he had on like glasses, a baseball hat, and like a striped shirt you get from like fucking JCPenney's.
Sure.
And he just sang acoustically, and it was quite good. And like I'm always thought like, why didn't he just do that? Why didn't he just make his career out of that? But you know what?
Because that wouldn't have made it. He
You're right.
wouldn't have stand out.
Yep, because I think he did quite a bit of stuff then not auto-tuned, kind of like that, and it didn't get popularized.
There's a reason why Ego Raptor does Let's Plays and not animation. It's probably because it's way easier for people to for him to profit off of. Like, like I'm sure fucking Aaron loves doing animation and drawing still, but like it doesn't get him nearly as much as money or his attention.
I'm not speaking as a non-animator.
It's not the greatest example of why someone would.
I mean, listen, you're correct. And I feel maybe in some sense because Ross, or if we're gonna go by his name, Rubber Ninja, it's both in panels when people ask them about animation, they both very distinctly say, like,
where's
sure,
the money in it?
it's fun, but nobody wants animation anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do, they want you to do a very particular thing, and they have said like it's hard for small animators to become popularized because they just get buried under all of the other like AAA rated like companies who have animators, but those companies
like full-time animators.
But those companies
animators
want their certain style and they don't want any other creativity. They want you
Right.
to be a robot essentially and work for them.
That's so okay.
And
You ready for some like deep shit?
Sure.
That's the fucking thing about like high schools like adding coding to like computer programming to their like what they offer.
My sister took a coding class.
And it's because
college.
they want to reduce they want to have it so common that they can pay coders less because there's tons of them. You don't need to pay coders this weird obtuse job that's hard to understand because it's now part of the curriculum for high school students to understand coding, and now everyone could be a coder, and now that job has less value because of it.
Yeah.
It's still a very hard job. So it's a lot to take in and understand because it's always changing and evolving. But if you can just teach a bunch of people
it's like sewing.
Yeah.
As well. I mean, however many people knew how to sew back in the day. Like there was a lot. It was like a family thing, and then it became an industrialized thing. But then as we've kind of progressed and gotten away from people having to sew and machines are doing the sewing,
Right.
like companies and stuff, the craft of a human being sitting down and sewing, it's less, but it's still not a skill that it's still a skill that enough people know how to do that if somebody is like, hey, I will make this piece of whatever for you, I'm going to charge you however much for the fabric and the time and the thread and all that, and someone's like, they don't see the value in that price. So like I can just pay somebody cheaper, to do it. And so it's the same sort of thing. Or if somebody is like wants to do like a very high quality like cosplay or like a Halloween costume, for example.
Huh.
Look at that fucking full circle.
Huh.
And they're like, I want a theater quality costume, but I don't want to pay $50 for it. It's like, well, you don't understand. It's like you're gonna pay way more for like a theater quality costume because you're gonna have much more time put into the garment made, and
it's gonna be tailored for you versus
a large
the common denominator. Yeah.
Right, and then people don't value that time that's put into it, and I don't know if like companies like whatever that like make these costumes, like because they can mass produce them, people are like, oh well, I'll just get something that like kind of fits versus something that's like very nicely made.
Right.
And like my roommate brought that up because we were gonna be witches, and he was thinking of doing Hocus Pocus stuff, and he's like, I want to do Hocus Pocus, but the costumes that were sold at the Halloween store he went to were like $60, $70, and he goes, and they felt so cheaply made.
Yep.
I'm like, yep, that's and I got lucky today because I bought some fabric today that I sent a snap that said, this makes me so hard, and I took a screenshot of like my receipt or whatever. I
didn't know what that meant, so I was just like, all right, Camden's walking around with his fucking dick out again.
So the fabric I bought would have normally cost me $50 for 3 yards, which you can argue with me that's cheap or expensive. I don't really give a shit. For me, it's kind of expensive. But I got it for $20, and I was like, this is great. And, it's like a decent quality fabric that alone would have cost me $50 versus like a costume that was made in China or whatever. Right. It sucks that people don't see the value, and you're right. It's so they can pay people less for doing whatever.
I keep seeing stuff similar, like just in the D&D world, where I'm like, oh man, I want to get like a nice dice box and something to hold my dice in, and like you go online and it's like fucking here's a dice tray for fucking $70, and I'm just like, holy shit.
So as a consumer, that's how you feel.
Yeah.
So what if you were like the opposite end of that?
Where like I took all this time to make this. Like, of course I want to charge for what it's worth. But
which is
it's also
essentially how much is your time worth?
Here's the thing though, if I'm making this thing, I'm not making it for people like me, because people like me don't have money to spend on things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can like I have a pet project where I'm just gonna go to fucking like get some cheap ass wood, some nails, get some like faux leather, put it at the bottom. I'm done. Just nail it together and stain it, do whatever I want to it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anyway, you wanna hear this bad joke I've been telling everybody?
Sure. Yeah, I like jokes.
The clown from It had to get a job, and now he is JCPennywise.
I hate that joke. Actually, I'm just kidding. I love it. Did you think of that, or did you see it somewhere?
No, it's all me.
Oh, you know what? You got some creative stuff that comes out of the brain.
I just saw the fucking Pennywise, and I was like, oh, it's Big JC.
Did you actually go see the movie?
No.
Oh.
Also,
okay.
It's so funny how like from what I've seen of the 2017 It movie versus like the original, the original looks almost comical, and I gotta think like that's the case for like a lot of horror movies though. So like, have you ever watched Scream? Like,
I actually haven't seen Scream.
Okay, I felt the same way about that. Like that movie, like it takes forever to get going. Like it starts with a banger where she's like, I'm in your house, whatever, and then like her fucking boyfriend is outside. Spoilers for Scream, by the way. And he's like,
catch up with the times.
And he's screaming and whatever, and then like it just fucking hard cuts to like her going to high school, and it spends like a good like 10, 20, 30 minutes on just like fucking around, just like the atmosphere around town. But it's effective because it's building suspense and like the general public's like view of what's happening, all these murders and asking questions and not really giving answers. So I don't know. It's old horror movies are something completely original.
That's like, I mean, so I don't know if you know this, but
I fucking know
the original Stephen King It movie was actually a made-for-TV movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was not. It didn't come out in theaters. It came because my mom remembers when it came out. It went directly onto the TV.
Mhm.
It was made for television, so I think it was okay to have more of that like comical aspect to it because it's going for like the general audience. Like
Right.
no one's paying to see this movie.
It's gonna show up on
You just,
AMC.
yeah, you're just like, hey, I'm
on
gonna sit down
fucking
and 7 p.m. and we're gonna watch
31
this fucking
spooky nights
movie.
of Halloween.
Listen, I love Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Only because some of them are good and some of them are real not good. And one kind of horror thriller whatever flick I like is Cabin in the Woods.
Kevin in the Woods.
Kevin in the Woods.
Kevin Bacon. Kevin James.
Kevin Bacon.
Pereira. Kevin Rose.
Kevin.
Help me out. Kevin
Mahone.
Kevin squared.
But I like Cabin in the Woods.
Kevin's in the wood.
Kevin's in the wood. Kevin's on the wood. Oh.
So that's the spinoff. That's the point. That's the fucking like
XXX version.
Check that shit out on Pornhub.
I'm sure there's something like that called like that. I'm fucking positive.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the fucking names that hit.
Lord of the G-string. It's top 5.
It's so great. Except, I will say, there's this one particular like.
What was the fucking
actor
the
that I
Baggins name? Sorry. What?
I don't know.
Oh, all right. Keep
Sure,
talking.
it was like Bildo.
It was yeah. It was I think it was just might have been Dildo Baggins.
Anyway, but I was saying is like there's one particular performer that started in this an X-Men version. Well, I'm gonna get kind of specific. The X-Men version of the porn or whatever. And he looked so goofy, and I loved it. You know, I'll fucking Colby Keller. He played Wolverine. It was fucking fantastic because he looked so stupid.
A diminutive and seductive Throbbit
Oh my god.
has been entrusted with a task of destroying an all-powerful G-string that can grant a possessor untold powers. What if the character's name was just horny? Dildo Saggins was
Dildo
the...
Saggins.
Uh-huh.
This is great. What was I saying? I was saying something about movies.
You were calling someone out?
I don't remember.
You were like, this is the thing. I'll call them out. The X-Men thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I said that. His name's Colby Keller. You can go look
Okay.
him up. He's really cute. He's a... Whatever. Moving off. You have your own judgments. But as far as, like, movies go... I mean, like, Disney did that. They did tons of, like, just made-for-TV movies.
Yeah, like Return of Jafar.
I've never saw that.
I don't even know if that was made for TV. No.
I'm sure. I'm certain. Is Disney Return of Jafar? I mean, like, I feel
think-
like a lot of Disney 2 movies
Mm-mm.
are just right on TV. I don't think they have them in
I
theaters.
think so. I believe there's only a
I think
handful of good
Pixar
ones.
actually does the like whole theater number 2 kind of thing.
Yeah, they take a dump right on the theater number 2.
Sure.
No, what was I guess Lion King would be the only one I think.
That was Disney? Oh yeah, you're right. Stop.
Don't
I don't
worry,
know.
boo.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't love you for your mind. No, I'm just kidding.
like Mulan.
Well, there's no. I'm not gonna die on this hill. I don't know. I just don't know.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Beauty and the Beast 2 has got to be
I don't
made
know.
for TV.
I didn't know that was. I didn't even know there was a number 2.
Almost all, Mulan, Aladdin had like 3 of them. Little Mermaid 2, where she had a kid that.
Oh,
Wants to be a
actually,
mermaid.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
I own the VHS
You
of
would.
that movie. Of course, I'm a gay kid. Of course, I love mermaids.
Cinderella 2.
I've seen so many versions of like that fucking Cinderella movie, the live action version.
102 Dalmatians was definitely in theaters.
Let me just say, if you don't think the fucking Cinderella story with Brandy and Whitney Houston is the best one, then you're fucking wrong. I'm just gonna say
The live action one.
yep, it's live action version.
She looks like she's so boring though. I've never seen it, but she looks like she's just bored.
Brandy.
Like on all the promotional art.
I don't know. That's just her face. But the music is fucking lit, and it's so good. Possible and like, oh god, I can't find
Put
it
your dick away, Cam.
anywhere. It makes me so upset. Sorry, it likes to come out sometimes. It's just the
Just
best.
to peek out.
It's- Hey, is this my time?
Is my time? Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
But back to horror films. Cabin in the Woods. I love it because I think they're really creative with like their monsters. Like, I think they're fucking weird. And have you never seen it?
No.
I'm sure I've told this story on a podcast. There's another horror movie, like thriller or whatever, called Last House on the Left. Okay, and there's a rape scene in there that lasts like a good minute and a half.
Kevin Spacey.
And the first time
Kevin Hart. Kevin Nash.
Thanks. Thank you. Any more?
Oh, there's a lot. Kevin Federline.
See, here, I can't see Mike's screen, so I 100% thought he was going to type in Cabin in the Woods.
Nope.
And he's typing fucking Kevin names.
Kevin McKidd.
Kevin James, did you say that one?
Kevin Jonas.
Oh,
you
that's
should have
right.
been that one, yeah. Where were you, dude?
Let you down. Let you down.
It's okay. Still love you.
Thanks. But yeah, there's like a rape scene for like a solid minute and a half, and like the first time I ever saw that, I could not stop laughing.
Kevin McDonald.
Thanks. And I'm gonna clarify this before I just cut this off. I might cut this off or something. Whenever I'm nervous or like really scared, I laugh, and
so in the middle of this scene, is really traumatic, awful event that's happening.
I got scared, and so I started laughing, and I'm so glad I was not in a theater. I was just in like a house with a couple friends, and I just could not stop laughing. And it was because I was scared. I was nervous. They're like, "Why are you laughing?" I'm like, "I swear to God, this is not funny. It's just I'm deflecting this emotion."
Sure. No, that something on Tumblr was literally going on about that, where like they try to throw out this woman's rape case because she was laughing while that she was depicting like the events that happen, and they were like, "See, she's not even taking this seriously. There's no way it happened," and that's wild.
It's like, nope, invalidating. Oh, yikes.
Yep.
So, do you like horror films at all?
Nope, not really.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I invited you to a haunted house.
Yeah, I was tired. I wasn't doing anything today.
If you were not tired, would you have gone?
Probably not. It's cost money, dude. I don't want to spend money to get scared.
I love spending money to get scared.
Kevin Kline.
This is one in particular haunted house that near where I live now that I go to every year because I haven't been. So it looks like I'm not going this year.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking the fucking cycle. Makes me so upset. Remember that podcast we talked about candy? This would have been a good one to talk about it because Halloween is tomorrow is the day this podcast comes out.
But we're original. We're not going to talk about candy.
Boom.
No, I really like Reese's, though. Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
It just in general, just anything with peanut butter in it.
Yeah. Man.
Toffee, nougat,
it's been really
peanut
cold
butter.
in our house, so we have like some Reese's Pieces in our candy bowl. And so it's almost like a refrigerator, so it refrigerates all the fucking candy. And like, get that refrigerated Reese's Pieces. It's so good. So good.
There was something I was going to talk about, but I don't remember. And we're 52 minutes in. We can
it's okay.
Snip it off.
Nip it in the bud.
Snip it in the nip it.
Get that cut or uncut. It's cut.
I'm still thinking about Disney movies that are the second one that come out.
I have no idea. Other than, you're right, Mulan 2 and Little Mermaid were the ones.
Do you count the live action of 102 Dalmatians?
No, that's its own thing.
Okay.
That's like, for me, I don't count every live action version of Cinderella like another like branch of the Cinderella franchise or like movie.
I'm just fucking Googling shit. Yeah, alright. So list of Disney home entertainment. Oh, this is just all of them though. I don't want that. Oh no, it wasn't. It was wow, this really is just the sequels and follow-ups. Return of Jafar, Aladdin and King of Thieves.
Never watched it. See, I think I'm not gonna say this as like an indefinite thing, but I feel like potentially a lot of Disney movies, like the number one, if it's really good, the second one's just not that good.
Except for there's one, which is and everyone will fucking fight to the death about this, but the Lion King 2. Because people want to bang Kovu.
Oh yeah, when people is that the Scar's son or whatever?
Yeah. Also, if we're counting Pixar, Toy Story 2 is pretty baller.
No, I'm not counting. I'm very distinctly separating Pixar.
Okay.
That's why I did not say Toy Story.
Okay.
Because if that was the case, fucking the whole franchise, the entire
Yeah,
franchise.
the 3 was fucking, it wrenched my heart.
Yeah. I think they're making an Incredibles 2 movie, and I don't know when the fuck that's supposed to come out, but
After I die, that's what
that's
they're
how
waiting
I
for.
feel. Yeah. Like,
I wrote like a first draft of what that movie would be. Like
yeah.
the fucking dad dying, and then no, I'm being dead serious. I am self-inserting in this, but like
That
the
makes
mom
me
being
sad.
overprotective over her kids, but the kids are able to protect themselves because they have very like defensive superpowers, and
Yeah.
Jack not like allowed to explore his abilities because of that. Like, oh, he's so dangerous, but like Violet can turn invisible and make bubbles. Dash can just get out of any situation just by running away.
Yeah.
But the mom's like, well, your father was so strong. He died. Ah.
That's fucking sad, yo. But you know what? Sometimes Pixar likes to just be like,
Oh, yeah.
take a shit on your emotions.
Fucking fuck your little heart.
Well, like, okay, I'm sure a lot of people always say, you know, it's an underrated movie, The Incredibles. And I will agree. And
Ratatouille is an underrated movie.
I will also agree with that
Oh,
one. That
man.
is a good ass movie.
That is a good ass movie.
It's so cute.
It got overshadowed by Wall-E.
Wall-E, for me, is okay.
It's very okay. It's a good movie.
It's okay.
It's a good movie.
I don't know.
It's a little bit ham-fisted with how it like goes about. What is Ratatouille flanked by? Is it Wall-E, Ratatouille, Up? All right, fucking. I guess I'm googling everything in this episode.
But specifically with The Incredibles, that was like one of the only DVD movies we owned.
Yeah.
Because we were like, we fucking love this movie. And I watched it almost every day. It was so good. And like, I didn't understand until I got older and someone digested the post on whenever.
Oh, sorry.
They're,
Cars, Ratatouille, Wall-E. And Cars, such a successful release because it spun off into all the toys and the separate
Cars 2,
movies
and there's like Cars
planes.
3,
Yep.
which I haven't seen any of
And
that.
then Wall-E was like just a
Oh my God,
success.
space.
Yeah. Like, oh, he says her name Eva and she's Wall-E or whatever.
Yeah.
But Ratatouille, super underrated.
Little French chef. Little chef.
Little chef.
Little
Yeah.
chef. Oh, it's so fucking cute. I like that he just calls him Little Chef and not like, hey, rat. Rat boy. Rat boy.
Rat boy. We're fucking ending this. You got anything? You're saying something. I'll let you finish.
Oh yeah, I was talking about. Oh yeah, The Incredibles when they were digesting the like whole what's his name? I fucking love this movie. I forgot his name. Mr. Incredible, or what the fuck is his name?
It's Mr. Incredible. Stan?
No.
No.
The dad. I'm just gonna say dad. Anyway, I don't remember any other names other than Dash and Violet. And what's the baby's name?
Jack. Or
Okay.
just Jax, but they call him Jack.
And what's the mom and dad's name? That's what I'm saying. Whatever. Who cares? Whenever he's like, "Oh no, I'm not strong enough." The whole like, have you seen that when people digested like that their relationship?
Okay. You get one guess. Starts with a B.
Bob.
Yep.
And then
Starts with an H.
Helen.
Helen. You got it.
Yes.
There you go.
Very middle class white American
I
names.
can verify that Cam did not see the screen. Only I could.
They're common names. There we go.
I guess he is Jack. It is not just Jack. Jack.
Oh, like his real name is Jack.
Yep, hyphened.
That's odd, but sure.
All right. Pop quiz. Fashion lady.
Edna.
Yo,
Mode.
nice.
And guest. Which was voiced by a man.
All right. Hard mode because I fucking didn't know this one.
Sure.
Frozone.
Hey, Lucius.
Yo!
I had to like think of the fucking line that I remember the name from.
Last name Best.
Are
Lucius
you
Best.
for real?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so let me ask real quick. I know you want to end this real quick.
No, I'm having fun.
Oh sure, yeah. Let's just keep going.
We are like running out of time, but yeah.
So people very distinctly remember the conversation between him and his wife.
Yeah.
But she never appeared in the movie. Do you think, whenever this is fucking released, do you think they'll have a character? Do you think they'll like do something similar to what they did?
I think they'll have a callback. I don't think they'll show her.
Okay, that's why I wanted to. Do you think they'll show her or no?
Nah, they'll definitely have a callback. Or like
that was such a good like
it will be like a weird like character arc for her where she's like, wait, you forgot your super suit. Like he's like, I ain't got no time, woman. And she's like trying to get him to do the super stuff. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I just didn't show her.
It will definitely be a callback to that scene though.
Yeah, I remember. Just the way she says Bob. Bob, like when they're yelling in the fucking living room.
Ah, yeah.
And she was like, children, come on out. I love that movie.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah.
Came out before Cars. So
Cars was really okay.
Cars was that
too.
But like but Cars was that turning point in which like I feel like the quality stepped up. Because it was it was Toy Story, which it
had like a charm of its own.
It also the quality served the toy aesthetic well. Like it didn't need to be high fidelity because they're just toys. They're plastic. They're cheap. Bug's Life though, I feel like is that awkward middle child where it's like it really didn't have the technical prowess to do what it wanted to do. So it leaned heavy on its storytelling, which wasn't the best story. And I
still love the movie. It's weird and all over the place, but
sure.
Okay.
Like it's got its characters.
I love Ants over Toy Story, and I felt like Ants was not
Bug's Life.
I feel like Ants was overshadowed by Bug's Life.
Ants
is so fucking good.
The fucking Woody Allen movie.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just it's fucking weird, and I love it. It's so stupid.
Okay, I just had to make sure you were talking about that.
Yep. With a Z, Ants with a Z.
Yes.
I love them both.
A lot of drama behind that movie. They put that out to snub Pixar because Disney snubbed them with the Prince of Egypt over their movie. Whatever. Anyway, then came out Finding Nemo. I think that was the third one. And then
that's a Pixar movie.
Yes.
No.
Monsters Inc. Finding Nemo. Incredibles. Cars.
That's right. Do you think they'll ever make a Monsters Inc. 3?
I don't know. I really like the second one.
I
think
do too.
The second one was pretty all right.
Yeah, I think I liked it better.
They definitely had... All right, spoilers for Monsters Inc. It's getting a little long, but...
You know what? You can cut some stuff out.
I'm not going. It's too much work. Whatever.
Okay. Enjoy this one.
The part at the very end of the movie where Mike and Sully were working together to scare those kids, and Mike is like up in the rafter, or the adults, like all the park rangers and police, and they're like, he's like, was Mike even part of it, or was it just Sully?
Sully.
They worked together, right?
Sully physically scared them, but Mike kind of added suspense.
Yeah.
So
he's like up there. He's like
making
noises.
All of the
and,
suspense that was built was by Mike, and then
Sully
at the very end, suddenly was just like, "Hey, I'm here."
And like, that's such a very good like the whole movie's like you see these characters. They're not scary at all. One has a giant eyeball, and the other one is furry like a teddy bear.
Yeah.
And they did it very well. They put that scene together so well that there was so much suspense. That despite it being like a very family-friendly movie, they like fucking flipped it on a dime, and suddenly like it got all dark and suspenseful, and then like it. I remember that scene so well, despite me not being able to explain it at all. But it's one of those scenes. It's like how I feel about Baby Driver now. Like there's a lot of scenes in that movie, like spoilers for Baby Driver. The very end,
the spoiler cast.
Yeah, the very end where he's like, "I'm going to take something away from that you love away from you," and he shoots him on his left and right of his ears, is like a very like powerful thing. Like, because the whole movie, a whole point, like you're like, "Oh, he's gonna shoot the girl." Oh, it's like, no,
that is what I thought was gonna happen.
Time, he's been showing how much he loves music and how like integral part of how important music is to him and just like his life. And he does that to him is like a much darker and powerful more moment than him just like shooting at his fucking girl.
Yeah, because like I thought that was gonna happen. I was like, okay, they're actually gonna go with this trope.
But he actually went through with it too.
Oh, fucking shook.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Like, oh, she got shot and survived. Like, oh, happy ending. Well, she's fucking in a wheelchair now. Oh, too bad. But like, no, I mean, I think like they fixed his hearing or whatever, so he's able to hear. It was like that scene at the very end, but
Yeah.
man, he took it away from him, and you're just like, oh shit.
Like, man, that's like.
And then the movie stopped having sound except for the part where he touched the speaker on the car.
Yeah.
Because he could feel the vibrations.
And it's like it's a to comment on your scene for the Monsters Inc. I will 100% agree with you, because the way that they set up that scaring scenario would actually scare you in real life. It wasn't like we're just gonna do something cheesy and corny and like they're gonna react to it or whatever. No, like they it was very meticulous, and it would have scared me even then. And oh god, yes, agree. Also, Baby Driver, that shook the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
And like, it's like when people. I was just watching this thing before I came over here. It's like right before the U.S. or like right after the U.S. had removed its ban on capital punishment. The first state to instill this like a form of capital punishment, but the death penalty, it was controversial because the guy was like, honestly, just kill me. I did those murders and I did it. Just kill me. And some people were like, no, don't, whatever.
He could be reformed.
But then it's like, do you really want to? Because he's asking for it, and you're going to give him what he wants. And he's like, just kill me. Versus, we're not going to kill you. We're just going to make you live with what you did the rest of your life.
Right.
You know, that kind of thing. It's a weird scenario because it's like, oh, well, why waste our resources on this guy?
Right.
Or lady, whomever.
Sure.
But in this case, this guy, when he's just asking.
How did we
for
get
death,
here? I'm sorry. Did I dissociate real hard?
Kind of. We're talking about like things that are much worse, or like things that shake you like that, like with Baby Driver.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay.
Yeah, and how they took away his hearing, it was surprising. That's what I was saying. Like for me, it's like, do you follow the trope of like, do you give people what they want, or do you make them suffer?
Yeah.
You know, and in the case of Baby Driver, this is a form of suffering. You know, and despite however you feel personally on like the death penalty, it's got dark real fast.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm just talking about things that surprise you. I love whenever something I'm watching doesn't follow the trope.
Yeah, it plays against your expectations.
Yeah, or sometimes if they do and they point it out, I'm like, we're following the trope.
There's nothing wrong with tropes.
No.
They're a good, you know,
It's gonna give your movie a different tone.
Yeah.
But sure.
Anyway, I'm cutting it off.
Yeah, sorry y'all.
Don't be sorry, dude. It was fun the last 10 minutes. So if you're listening to this, just replay that because that was the good part. If you somehow skip to the end, just go back.
Go back 10 minutes.
Go back 10 minutes. Yeah. Hey, you got all the good stuff, baby.
Boom.
All right. Happy Halloween. Everybody be safe. Love each other.
Spooky, scary skeleton.
We out.